Post-truth apocalypse. I'm Ken. As always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas
You're a week late.
and Happy New Year!
Okay, you're fucking Pete, the dyslexic Santa.
Bugger! I got my dates mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh well, all the children will have to suffer.
You're a week late.
Oh well.
This week we're doing Weird Alien Encounters Part 2. You guys weren't here for Part 1.
Why weren't we?
Because you weren't doing the Part 1.
Yeah, we did it a long time ago.
Oh right,
Yeah.
it's a very very late part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very late.
Cool.
Very late, yeah.
Cool.
We
Incredibly-
found some more and we thought we'd... So a bit light and fluffy.
Yeah,
compared to what we've
Actually light and fluffy.
been doing
Well,
over Christmas.
kind of.
Kind of. Light and fluffy for us.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to think of the last light and fluffy
I don't think
one.
there's any sodomy in this one. Forced sodomy, so...
I thought the last one was quite fluffy, wasn't it? Fucking hell. I was telling my friends at work about that.
Yeah.
We were all sat there looking at me like, the fuck were you chatting about? Like, I was like, yeah, we were chatting about this, and it was like, why? Because he's like the most notorious fucking
Bomb
murderer.
burglar.
Murder hobo.
Yeah, he's like some crazy nutter that you'd never heard of, that is probably more infamous than bloody all of the big murderers that we have heard of, but yet you've never heard of him.
We call him the bum murderer.
The Bum Bandit.
I wouldn't tell him that. If I went back in time, there's
I
no
would.
way I'm calling Carl Panzer a bum bandit.
I would.
Unless, of course, you meant you'd probably just think you were robbing homeless. He was robbing homeless people.
I'd have my little pole. That'll keep you safe.
I
wouldn't it?
don't think it will. It's 200 pounds of uncut muscle.
You really had a thing for him, I think. He's got a secret that you kept talking about his big muscles and that.
Because you had to understand how fucking physically
Really?
imposing he was.
How many times did you delete out when you were going? How many times did you delete out his like dribbling, droolingness over him?
My Batman voice was spot on though.
We're referring to our Christmas episode.
Do you know,
Yeah, go back and listen to that.
do you know, it's funny, I was thinking about it and I forgot to mention at the time, you know, like people like David Beckham, you got these really like good looking, handsome guys, and then they talk that, hello, my name's David Beckham. You know what I mean? It's like, it's comical. I
Yeah.
could almost imagine him being like,
Oh, hello there, fella. Yeah, well, I'm gonna big bum you good time, boy.
having like some crazy, weird voice.
Maybe.
Not
I don't know. I thought the Batman early 90s wrestler worked best, to be fair. But no, we're bringing you Alien Encounters 2, and again, SoundCloud has an issue with its statistics.
It's rubbish at the minute, isn't it?
So
I'll contact him. I'll give him a bell.
Give him a slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, thank you to all our new and returning listeners who've joined us in the last few weeks. I hope you had a great Christmas. This episode will hit you New Year's Eve, so you know, all the best for that.
Merry New Year and everything.
May 2024
Be better.
not be as shit as this year.
Can't be worse.
Oh,
It
we
can
said
al-
that every year.
It can always be worse.
Since 2012, haven't we? It can't get any worse. Oh, fuck me.
But things have always been shit. Do you
Now
have to realise
We've
things
just
have
got
always...
media highlighting it.
No, we
now.
used to have the media highlighting the news travels faster. Things have always been shit.
It just feels like everything's unravelling at the moment, doesn't it?
Well, on the
With
plus side...
democracy across the world being threatened,
Well, on the,
climate change, wars, possible aliens.
you're not living in the 14th century, though.
No, I don't mean for the average man. Obviously, it's a lot better. You go through history, and our lives have got better until about 1980, and it's gone downhill again.
Since we were born.
Yep.
Goddamn boomers. Ruining it for the rest of us. Valid point, though. You gotta fault the boomers on this one.
for making babies and just having a good time?
No, for just constantly voting against their best interest.
Hmm.
Trusting the government too much might be a better way of phrasing it.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Anyway, aliens. Weird Aliens 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let's crack on. Frog aliens. I'd like to see a frog alien. I think it'd be quite cute.
If that's one of them,
It's kind of cute.
it's not cute.
I wonder if frogs maybe were aliens.
I don't know, but I've woke up next to worse.
Have
Some
you?
people think octopuses are aliens, aren't they?
They're like 3 hearts and 12 lungs and 7 penises
Yeah.
and
7 pizzas.
penises. I
They,
don't
they could carry 7 pizzas.
know. I don't think they have 7 penises, but
They might, I don't know. Yeah, because they don't.
Weren't we employing them as pizza delivery?
We should
people?
do. They'd always have to be in a tank
it
of
might be a
water.
bit soggy, might it, the pizza when it gets
Yeah.
to you.
They could hold it out of the water.
Soggy pizzas, anyone?
Well, they'd have to get out the tank, get the pizza, and then come and ring your door, wouldn't
Yeah, work in Venice.
they? Oh, in Venice.
Right, let's get that one started. Let's go on Dragon's Den and say, right, Peter Jones, I want £4 million to start up octopus delivery service in Venice. It'll be fucking spot on, it will.
Then again, I don't know if octopuses are saltwater only,
We can convert them.
and also the water in Venice is probably that polluted they'd just die.
It's a good point.
I wouldn't want my pizza flying anywhere near it, to be fair.
Near that
Water in
shit
Venice.
No.
Shit water.
No, and I don't want to kill all the octopi that we're going to employ. You know, I feel bad about that.
Octopus rights and everything, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, frog aliens.
Frog aliens. Harrison Bailey loved to walk so much that he found a way to profit from it. He had a huge green tyre with advertising space on the side of it, and he'd take long walks rolling it with sponsored ads. Well, he doesn't sound like a nutcase. Just, where you going, Harrison? Just walking my tyre with its advertising on. Right. He was on such a walk from Chicago, Illinois to Joliet, I assume that is, on September 24th, 1951, when he rolled his big tyre into a small wooded area along the route near the town of Orland Park.
Why?
Here comes that cunt again with his big tyre.
Oh God, here he is. Here's Harrison with his giant tyre.
Who's he fucking trying to get? Whose attention is he trying to get by rolling it into the woodlands? Though?
I think he's probably just gone in there for a break, I don't know. He's pretty knackered, he's rolling around a tyre.
I don't think he's all with it, to be fair.
I don't think he's the full ticket, as one might say.
He's trying to sell to the squirrels.
He's selling nuts.
These nuts.
As he approached the woods, he became aware of a strange prickling in his neck and saw a sort of silver whirlwind in the sky behind him. But he was on a tight schedule with a long walk ahead, so he ignored it and continued forward into the woods. In front of him was what he took to be a large frog on a log. As he approached it, he became aware of other animals around the same size hidden in the foliage on both sides of the road. Small, round insects, ? He doesn't know, were all over the road. But Bailey walked on, figuring his boots would protect him. And then the frog on the log stood up and started walking towards him. I'd imagine that's probably Brown Trousers time at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Soon Bailey was surrounded by these bipedal frogs, and they were jumping up to touch him on the shoulders, back, hips and legs. And when they touched him, it felt unpleasant. He started to run, still rolling his wheel ahead of him, and over the strange insects that covered the road, eventually escaping the horde of frogs. Why not use the wheel against the frogs?
Squash a few, like.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say how big they are, but if they're jumping up to touch his back, hips and
And
legs...
they're bipedal, so they're walking on two legs as opposed to 4.
So maybe they're up to his knee?
I don't know. It's a big fucking frog if it is up to his knee.
Well, yeah, but you could roll that big tyre over it.
You can certainly kick it.
You
with
could
your boots
definitely
on.
kick it.
Gotta do some frog stomping.
Hey, shame that band sucked after that album. Oh no, wait, did they do 2 good albums or 3?
Well, each album
Silverchair, wasn't it?
progressively got worse. hasn't
Yeah,
it?
to the 3rd one when it was just terrible. Yeah, shame. Further on the road, Bailey ran across a large, rounded object that opened to reveal 2 5-foot-tall human-like beings wearing helmets that obscured their faces. The next thing Bailey was aware of was lying on a bed of some sort, presumably inside the object, with the two beings examining him and somehow communicating to him to instruct the world to tell the world about them. They didn't speak, that was all in his head. After this strange exam, Bailey was allowed to leave with his wheel, but despite the beings asking him to tell the world about them, he immediately forgot about nearly everything that happened that day.
I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna forget about that shit, are you? Come
No,
on.
no, you're not, no. No, I mean, unless, of course, they've done the usual hypnotic trick on you and you'll remember this in 25 years, tell the world!
Why would they do that? They want the word spread.
Well, how come the word's spreading now if you forgot it all?
Because he's remembered it.
Hypnotic regression 25 years later.
Now, you know what I'm usually doing for pretty much any alien encounter? I'm
A bit sceptical this one, are you?
you know what? You know the fence, and there's the side that I usually sit on that believes most things about aliens. I'm on the other side that's like, this guy's just a fucking lunatic. You know, you can't trust a man that pushes round a big wheel all day, a tyre. He's hardly of sound mind, is he?
He just doesn't do that all day, does he?
He likes walking and he gets paid to advertise things on his big tyre that he just pushes along.
You know what my theory is? He's pushing it along in the woods. He's opened up some kind of gas pocket.
I was thinking the same sort of thing.
It's made him hallucinate.
I was thinking like
Mushroom
spores, yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Or he ate some berries.
Yeah, possible.
Maybe just sniffing that rubber all day off the tyre and whatever else it rolls through has probably just affected his mind. I don't know.
Obviously I'm on the fence because I'm on the fence for everything, but I'm 99.9% sure this is bollocks.
Yeah.
I mean...
So you're not really on the fence then, are you, to be fair?
Technically I am.
No.
0.1%.
What,
Still touching the fence with my
one,
little
of your,
pinky.
one of your pubic hairs?
My pubes.
One of your pubes is touching the fence.
I don't know. I just feel that a man who walks around all day pushing a tyre about is not a credible person to be listening to.
Can't judge a man by his labour, can you? Like what he does for a living.
Well, that's true. Look at Einstein. It's just an old
Look at
pattern
Mike.
clerk.
Look what he does for a living.
What about a rent
Fucking
boy?
Genius.
I'm a genius.
You know what I mean?
What about a rent boy?
What, Mike?
No, can you judge them?
Yeah, but Mike, that's what
Never
I'm
trust a
about.
rent boy. I've learned from my experience.
Yeah, I'll be wallet away and everything.
Is that how you got AIDS?
No,
No, that was the monkey.
That was the monkey who shagged. I was going to say that. God damn it. Oh dear.
That explains a lifetime ban from Chester Zoo. Alright, where's the next one? Space Cone. That's quite a freaky little illustration.
They look like little space monkeys.
They're like little space elves, don't they? Goblins. Sort of attacking a woman.
Trying to steal her flowers. How
I mean,
dare they?
Goblin aliens like this are at Kelly
Sort of a
Hopkinsville.
cape and a silver suit and brown helmets on.
Again, you just kick them in the nuts really hard, wouldn't you?
You would, wouldn't you?
Fuck off, you little shit.
Sunday, November 1st, 1954. Rosa Donnelly was walking along a footpath through fields and thickets on her way from her house to the nearby town of Siena, Italy, where she planned to place a handful of carnations at the altar of the Madonna of Pellegrina, or the Pilgrim Madonna. It was a path she used almost daily and an area very familiar to her, until she entered a small clearing and found some sort of vehicle in the middle of it. The object was only about 7 feet tall and looked like two tall cones connected together at their large ends like a round diamond shape. It stood on 3 small legs and had an opening in the side that revealed 2 small chairs. As Rosa was just starting to wonder about this object, 2 tiny men, only about 3 foot tall or so, walked around from the opposite side of it to approach her in a friendly fashion. The 2 looked mostly human, but their size and an odd curve in the centre of their lips showed they were not. Both wore one-piece grey overalls that covered them from their necks to their feet, and each wore a short cape. They also had odd helmets that covered their ears. The 2 short men tried to talk to Donnelly, but she didn't understand the language they were using. They snatched some carnations from her and dropped them inside the craft. Then one of them reached inside and brought out 2 white spheres, and then Danelli took the opportunity to run from the scene, and when she looked back over her shoulder at them, they'd vanished.
They were just trying to give her a present
Yeah.
back.
That's it, bit of trade. And she flipped
She
out.
could have been a fucking millionaire.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She could have been
Damn it.
Earth's...
Imagine, we don't know what them 2 white spheres could have done.
It could have been teleportation
Could have
devices.
Could have been medical devices that cure any diseases and ailments.
There could have been Pokeballs, and she'd have found herself in an intergalactic zoo,
Yeah.
captured.
It'd have been no loss.
Well, yeah, I don't know what Rose was like.
Meh. She was alright, like.
It could have defied gravity, we could have back engineered them and be living in a Star Trek future.
But no, she was a pussy and she ran.
Yeah.
Would you run or would you have
Typical
stayed?
woman.
What would you have done?
Well, it's an interesting question because they're 3 foot tall.
I'd have kicked them in the nuts.
You know, if they do decide to get nasty, I'm going to kick them as hard as I can.
Now, they were pretty friendly, they said, until they snatched the carnations. But then they brought something out and...
Yeah. We'll never know what happened.
No.
We'll never know if they were alright or not, I guess. That's it. It's lost to time.
It was there. That could have been our chance of contact with a really cool species that could have helped develop our world. And they chose the wrong fucking silly bitch to choose.
Well, the pilfering little fox.
They could be pilfering little fucks, you're right, yeah.
And those 2 spheres could have been bombs.
Yeah.
Take these to your leader.
Yeah. Or it could
More
be a load of
likely.
bollocks.
Yeah, the ones from the 50s are fantastic, the sightings. They're so out there, they're so outlandish. Because no one ever reports shit like that now.
Yeah, but it's because everyone was watching Twilight Zone the night before.
Probably not in 1954
Yeah,
Italy.
Yeah, it would have been. The Italian version.
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, El Twilight. Oh no, wait, that's the Spanish version. Well, I don't know. I don't think they've been watching I don't think she'd been watching the Twilight Zone in '54 in Italy. I just want to point out that Kelly Hopkinsville is on this list, giving that one an honourable mention, because it is probably the best alien encounter you'll ever find.
That's all we're mentioning on that one.
Because it is.
Because it's bollocks.
It's not bollocks.
No, we did a full episode on it.
Right, you can still run through it quickly.
Go on then.
Okay, I'll give you the very abridged version because I know this really well. It's a farm in Kentucky, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Kelly, Kentucky even, and it all started when Billy Ray Taylor saw a strange object fly across the sky with a rainbow trail and then drop into a deep gully nearby. Taylor headed to the farmhouse of the Sutton family to tell everyone what he'd seen, and they all thought he placed in a falling star and was maybe exaggerating. Half an hour later, something glowing approached the house from the fields. Taylor and Lucky Sutton watched a strange glow from the back door of the house until it became clear it was some kind of bipedal creature 3.5 feet tall with a huge round head and very long arms ending in talons that was walking towards them. The odd creature appeared to be made of silver and it held its arms high above its head as it approached as if in surrender. Guess what happened next? This is America, it's rural America,
They shot
and a
it.
strange alien, a strange being has approached them with its hands in the air.
They tried to shoot it.
Absolutely right.
Ah, surprising.
They grabbed guns, one's got a 2.2, one's got a shotgun of what gauge I can't remember off the top of my head. And when the odd creature came within 20 feet of the house, they opened fire. With the odd result, the creature flipped backwards and then ran away. Soon another such creature was found staring into the house from one of the windows and they shot at it from inside the house. That also just flipped backwards out of sight. Assuming the body would be just outside, Taylor and Sutton headed for the front door. As Taylor walked out, however, one of the creatures was seen to reach down from above and ran his hand gently through his hair. Presumably L'Oreal because he's worth it. The family yanked Taylor back inside before he could go further, and Sutton ran out and shot the creature, knocking off the roof. Another creature was spotted in a tree nearby, and Taylor joined Sutton as both shot at the creature. It fell from the tree and floated lightly back to the ground before running off. Then another ran from around the house of the two men, and they fired point blank into the creature, and they heard the bullets hit it, but the strange creature was unharmed, even though it turned and ran after being shot. Though these strange creatures continued to pest the family until 5 a.m. They never did anything aggressive, and they actually leave the farm about 2 a.m., go into town to report what's going on. They come back with sheriffs, obviously themselves. Some stories there's military policemen there, some there aren't. And they look around and they can't find anything, so they go, well, you know what, just, they look around for alcohol as well, which they can't find.
But they've drank it all.
They haven't drank it all, there's no evidence of it being
Yes,
alcohol.
There's moonshine in the bathtub.
Oh, no evidence. No evidence of that. And then the creatures come back and they have another shootout, and about 5 o'clock it all ends. And the creatures fuck off and
They come back when the authorities aren't there anymore.
Well, they got
How do you do that, isn't it? When there's no more witnesses.
But they can't find. What's your excuse for this? The owls.
Silvery owls.
Apparently,
They were silvery owls.
they were, because they never found any blood, feathers, or bodies.
Because they missed.
How can you can't miss with a shotgun against birds? That's what a shotgun is designed to do. A shotgun is literally designed to shoot
Where you
birds.
shoot him? How far you shooting from and things like that.
It's coming right up to the door on this.
They're pissed on moonshine. They
Right.
haven't got any aim.
I think you can't miss with a shotgun far from the hip, and a 4-foot bird. I don't think you can do it. I think it's impossible.
I call bullshit on like military police coming back.
Yeah, that's a bit. That's the stories. The story shifts a little bit. Some may have been added on the internet. But they definitely came back with sheriffs. I think it's the reason we never saw them again this particular time of alien is because the hostile response, the hostile reception they got. Could have been a first contact again.
I don't think they're picking very good places for first contact, are they? Really?
Hillbillies in the woods.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Let's come to our houses. Sound. Come in, have a smoke, have a drink. Do you want a beer? Yes.
They start getting hostile after you give them a beer. Nice one, Pete.
It's alright. I'll be samurai sword near me. I'll chop them up. Make fucking alien stew. Yum yum yum.
A creature with 4 arms and 4 legs and arms. Sunday, 2 p.m. in Casablanca, California, and a large group of boys were playing in a yard in front of one of their houses when they noticed the first strange object in the sky above them.
What year is this? Do we
It
know?
doesn't say at the moment, actually.
It's just 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's quite vague, isn't it?
It is. Soon others appear and disappeared with a musical ping, putting on a show the boys thought was fun. But every time they tried to get one of the adults in the house to look, everything vanished, so it was just for them to see, and they soon accepted this. Non-sea aliens. One of the objects, multicoloured and bright, landed about half a block away in a field, and then 2 of the older boys saw a strange thing in front of the house next door. It was around 3.5 feet tall, floating above the ground, and transparent enough they could see the brickwork of the house through the thing's body. It wore a belt with a round disc that glimmered like a mirror, and the creature appeared to have eyes and a mouth, but across the area a nose there were just 4 round objects that shined like diamonds. Another boy just saw an arm hanging alone in midair, beckoning him to come closer.
Fucking hell. Pedo arm.
It's definitely a bit noncy, this alien. Then another full being emerged from the landing craft, also floating above the ground, but much more solid looking than the previous. This one appeared to be wearing a satin-like material, and it had 4 legs and 4 hands, each of its arms splitting in 2 at the elbow.
Octopus.
Yeah.
Oh.
This being somehow talked to one of the boys, telling him to climb a nearby tree so he could be picked up in 15 minutes. Definitely something going on here.
Non-sea aliens.
Using a hose, the older kids kept the younger ones out of the tree, and 15 minutes later one of the strange objects flew around the top of the tree before all of the objects disappeared for the last time.
Weird that one, isn't it?
Weird non-sea aliens, definitely.
There's definitely something creepy going on with that one.
The Jimmy Savile of the alien world.
I'm looking forward to this next one. Ginger aliens.
Ginger alien.
Oh God, wipe them out.
That scared the
I'm
shit out of me.
I'm never advocating an alien war, but I am if they're ginger.
Aren't you ginger?
Not ginger.
Mike's ginger.
Excuse me, I'm strawberry blonde.
That's what they all say, Mike.
Bit of red in my beard.
A bit of red in your hair.
Have I fuck?
What colour is it then?
Autumn sunrise.
Well, that's what you keep telling yourself and the rest of us, but yeah, personally, this is the only time I'm down for an interstellar war.
Yeah, but straight away, get rid of them.
So, God,
Wipe
just
them out.
imagine that. So aliens are coming down to meet us and they step out their ginger and everyone just like, oh
I
no.
like gingers.
Well, someone has to. Jose Antonio da Silva from Bebedouro, Brazil, just wanted to fish. And he got up that morning just to do just that.
I just want to fish.
I just want to fish. Ding, ding,
It
ding,
sounds
ding,
like a
ding,
rock
ding.
song or something. I just want to fish. That'd be our new song.
No, fishing's for people who've got problems at home. So he hiked to the lake and set up camp the day before, but around 3 p.m. his plans were changed against his will. When a group of 4-foot-tall humanoids, completely covered head to toe in strange suits, paralysed his legs and then dragged him aboard a weird craft.
Oh, shit.
That's a shitter.
Oh dear. Did they try and gingerise him?
Oh, this is the thing. So you're not making me ginger, you fucks.
Mm-hmm.
For hours, De Silva sat with his captors as the strange vehicle moved. There were no windows, so he could only feel the motion of the craft, with no idea where it was going. They had placed a helmet over his head, just like the ones they were wearing themselves, and when they reached their destination, he was brought into a large room and placed sitting on a stool. Here he saw these beings with their helmets on, although he was still wearing his. Among them was one being who was slightly taller and appeared to be in charge. They all looked about roughly the same. Human with red hair that hung to their waists and beards that stretched to their stomachs. Their eyebrows were very thick, about 2 finger widths, well that could be any girl in the UK under a certain age. Massive brows. And they had no eyelashes on their slightly larger than human green eyes. The biggest difference was their mouths, which were a little wider than humans and had no teeth in them, looking more like a fish's mouth on the inside.
Good for blowjobs.
They communicated to De Silva by means of gestures and illustrations. He soon understood that they wanted him to go back to Earth to gather information for them. Lazy.
Lazy aliens.
Lazy ginger aliens. Then they wanted him to eventually return to live with them for several years, finally to return to Earth with them as their ambassador and guide. And De Silva refused the offer.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Oh, I wouldn't want
He
to.
just wanted to fish, didn't he?
Yeah, but he got some fish people.
Yeah.
Ginger fish people.
Yeah.
How brilliant is that?
I wouldn't go with a bunch of gingers either.
Dunno, they sound like they might give good sucky.
Long time.
With fish mouths.
Beards.
Well, maybe the females might not have beards.
Thanks, guy. Like the beard. Gave me something to hang on to.
Bigfoot? Oh, I see Bigfoot.
So if you just to finish off De Silva's story, once he found his way to a road, he was able to learn that he was about 30 kilometres or 18.6 miles away from where he'd been fishing, and 4.5 days had passed.
Whoa.
Still,
Trip.
I'm sorry, that is
Yeah.
like... Who's taking the offer?
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you take the offer?
Yeah.
I mean, you all taking it?
Yeah.
So what, go live on their planet?
Well, you know.
Go and
Fuck
do
not, man. It's a new species. You're the first person to come in contact with them. You could be the ambassador to Earth.
It's a no-brainer, really.
Or go back to being a nobody.
You said you like gingers.
I'd be like, how many other people have you said this to? Bet you said this to all the fucking humans, don't you? I'm not your first.
I'd be like, right, I'll come with you, and I'll do the ambassador thing, but I'm not getting the info for you. You can do that yourselves, you lazy fucks.
Just put him to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Well, that's how the Transformers did it,
Is it?
in the movies.
Yeah, but at 2 p.m. on a Sunday, that Wikipedia might not have been invented.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know the year, we
Bit
don't know.
scanned that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Bigfoot.
Dum.
It was 10:30 p.m. on a foggy night out in Frederick, Wisconsin, and a farmer, William Bozak, was driving home from a co-op meeting he had attended in the nearby town of Frederick when his headlights reflected off something on the left side of the road. He'd already been driving at a slower pace due to the fog, and he slowed down as he approached the object. And I do mean object, for there was no car on the side of the road. The object was about 8 to 10 feet tall and was sitting still. On the side facing Bozak as he drove up, there was a curved glass panel that he could see through, and inside there was a human-like being. The being appeared to be wearing a tan shirt of some type.
Human skin.
Maybe. See my vest, see my vest. Well, Bozak could also see it had short hair or fur on its upper body and arms, so it's wearing a wife beater. It's wearing a human being vest.
Yeah.
It's now it's the hairy upper arms.
And now he's going to skin this bloke to make his trousers.
Huh? Well, maybe. It's
Or
certainly
human moccasins.
Ooh. The arms were raised above the being's head, and there was more short hair sticking out from the sides of the being's head, although its face and chin were hairless. High up on its head, 2 calf-like ears stuck out about 3 inches to each side. It also had large protruding eyes. Bozak couldn't see more of the creature or the craft because of the fog, but he's seen enough. He stepped on the gas pedal and he rocketed home.
Yeah. Maybe if there's a big 10-foot tall hairy creature with a human skin vest, I might leg it as well.
No, I'm going the way of the Kelly Hopkinsville crew. I'm going to stopping the car, I'm getting that shotgun out my truck, I'm taking that skin back. I want that human skin vest.
Alright, you weirdo.
You can buy a human skin effect leather jacket. It looks fucking great. It's got a face on it. It's got faces on it and everything.
Looks
I think
great.
I think I've seen it, yeah. I've seen a meme of it or something.
It's the Necronomicon.
I love it.
It looks pretty sweet. People would certainly look at you twice, and then you probably get arrested. I don't know. Bigfoot is Bigfoot an alien? That's a debate for another time.
Pete, what do you think? The expert on Bigfoot.
Well,
Well, you're as much as an expert as any of them fuckers on TV.
I mean, we do know it was 10:30 p.m. and it was foggy.
yeah.
That's
That's prime. If that's prime Bigfoot time, 10:30 p.m. in the fog.
Quite vague again, though, wasn't it?
No more vague than any of the Bigfoot creatures.
No.
no dates yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't say he was even out there.
Yeah,
looking, does it?
strange one.
Oh, sorry. William Boask was driving home.
Yeah,
Who's William Boask when he's at home?
There's a guy that saw Bigfoot.
William. You know, old Bill.
Big
Bill.
Will. Big Willie.
Big Billy Willie. Or Willy Billy. Hillbilly Willy Billy.
There's some aliens with triangle eyes.
No.
Illuminati aliens.
Oh fuck yeah! Private security guard Piero Fortuna Zanfretta was a lot of it Italian ones on these, and the Italians had a bit of ergot going about. He was driving his rounds in Torriglia, Italy, icy cold night, when just a bit after midnight his car's engine, lights and radio all failed at once, bringing the car to a stop in front of one of his clients' houses. That's a common thing though, isn't it? Cars dying, all the radios going.
What do you mean it's common?
It's common in most close encounters
Oh,
of the
right, yeah.
third kind that cars and other mechanical things will shut themselves off.
Electrical stuff
Yeah.
stops.
Watches will stop, things like that. While this bothered him, Zanfretta quickly noticed 4 strange lights moving around the client's house. Assuming these were burglars, he grabbed his gun and flashlight and walked to the open gate and snuck quietly on the wall to surprise them. Then someone touched his back. Spinning around with his gun and light in front of him, Zanfretta found himself facing a 10-foot tall being with undulating hairy green skin. He pointed his flashlight up to see the face and dropped it in shock. The creature had triangular yellow eyes and red veins on its forehead, and at that point I'd have probably crapped my pants. And then fired every round I had into that 10-foot tall alien while screaming.
Too fucking right.
Yeah, 10-foot tall, green fur, Sith eyes, triangular Sith eyes. I don't want that. Zanfretta, he quickly grabbed up the flashlight and ran for his car, but was soon aware that something very bright was behind him. He turned to look and discovered a huge triangular craft, glowing brightly enough that he had to shield his eyes, was rising from the backyard of the house with a hissing noise. He ran to his car to make a desperate call out on his radio, which cut off before he could give his location. There's something there, because he said it cut out. Died on him, but it worked.
Oh, yeah.
Worked for a moment. So did it cut out or did it not cut out?
Good point.
An hour later, 2 other patrol cars came to the area and discovered Zanfretta lying on the ground out in front of the now closed gate to the house. As he approached, he jumped up, pointing his gun at them. His eyes were bulging and he didn't seem to recognise him. They managed to overpower him, but noticed that as they did that Zanfretta and his clothes were very warm, despite the icy temperatures he'd been presumably lying in until just a moment before. Further investigation after daybreak showed 2 huge horseshoe-shaped impressions in the ground behind the house, as if something massive had been sitting there, and 52 witnesses from around the city had all seen the bright light in the area at the time Zanfretta claimed to have been attacked.
Oh, multiple witnesses.
Multiple witnesses, 52 witnesses.
Right, so the aliens could have kept him warm.
I think it's suggested
Potentially.
that maybe he bit of radiation or something.
Dunno.
Maybe he'd actually been abducted. And the reason he was lying on the floor, not really knowing what's going on, was because that's where he was just plonked back. And they knew that it was cold, so they gave him something that would keep him warm.
I wonder if the gun would work. You know, mechanical things tend to fail around aliens.
No
Would his
electronics.
pistol work?
Yeah,
No electronics to
Yeah.
a pistol, is
Yeah.
there?
no.
No. Then again, some of them have demonstrated the ability to stop bullets, like Ozzo 1, he stopped that bullet.
Did he?
Yeah, hunting right, that dude who's hunting.
Ah, yeah.
I'd have still tried to shoot it. Only as in the first reaction, I've got a pistol in my hand and there's a giant green fucking monster in front of me. What else am I going to do? Try and wank it off?
That's another option.
Well, it might put the alien off. That's what this is, you get mugged, guys. Get visibly aroused.
Get visibly aroused.
Yeah, get your
Pull
trouser
cock
tent
out-
on.
Pull your cock out and start wanking.
Yeah. To completely diffuse the situation.
They're still going to run off with you, whatever they've mugged
Well, they
you
might be so
off.
fucking freaked out by the fact you just took it out and decided to wank. They might
Oh,
go,
that's
what
I
the...
wanted to be mugged!
What the fuck? And just run.
Oh, God, hit me, baby.
That's
Oh.
when you jizz and realise you've got a deep-seated problem.
The trouble is, if you do this alien, it might think it's a marriage proposal.
That's true. That is true. Never try and wank off an alien.
Okay, good advice.
Good advice, I think.
Thanks, Ben.
Listener, that is a cut to the ball pro tip. Unless, of course, it's a sexy alien.
There has been a few of them, hasn't
There
there?
has.
So, yeah.
Dilemma. Judge it on a basis by basis thing, I guess. Alright, tent creatures. I've never seen tent creatures. Francesco Ibanez, 54, driving to his vineyards just outside of Churis, Spain at 11 a.m. in the morning when he came across a strange object in the road ahead of him. It was shaped like half an egg with a large dome on 4 short legs and appeared to be made from a shining white metal. It was about 8 feet or 2.5 meters tall. As Ibanez puzzled over this object, 2 small figures emerged from near a carob tree around 36 feet or 11 meters away and headed for the craft. He saw the strange beings from the side, one behind the other. They were only about 3 feet or about a meter tall and appeared to be wearing white outfits that covered them from head to toe and looked as if they were inflated. The little beings almost appeared to be wearing tiny tents.
That could have been their spacesuits, couldn't it?
Could have been. Their feet and hands were small and dark in colour, and all that Ibanez could make out of their faces was that they had tubes of some sort that projected out from the face by about 3 inches, 8 centimetres, like built-in binoculars. The 2 figures rushed the vehicle and entered it, after which the half-egg rose quickly and silently, creating a whirlwind as it took off. Later, researchers found 4 small impressions on the ground where Ibanez said the vehicle had been, and estimated a weight of around 4 tons from the depths of the impressions.
Interesting.
So that's a creepy one, because you're like, okay, that could be their version of a spacesuit. couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little binocular eyes. Maybe their eyes aren't very good, so that's why they've got like little, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't see in our light properly. Like
Yeah.
a predator.
Oh yeah. Well, he'd be a lot less fearsome in one of them suits if he was just wearing a tent.
They look like grannies walking around.
They do.
They do. Yeah, they do. Like an old woman at the seaside.
Yeah. She's just missing an ice cream cone, isn't she?
There's no seagull attacking her for chips either.
No.
So yeah,
Strange
interesting. What about aliens out for fertiliser?
What?
Well, there's another tale where basically these Italian-looking aliens like get the attention of this farmer and ask him for water to make pancakes with, water and salt, which he obliges and he eats some of the pancake and takes it away, and it's just another ordinary kind of pancake. But these like two Italian-looking aliens, probably just two Italian blokes who turned up. And that guy was
That's
Joe.
the barbecue one, yeah.
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 So Newark farmer Gary Wilcox meeting with aliens on April 24th was incredibly casual. This is 1964, we get a date here. Seeing a cigar-shaped object he mistook for a crashed plane, he rode up to it on a tractor. It turned out to contain two beings in clothing that hid their faces. They told Wilcox that they were Martians, and then they began asking him questions. This lasted for over 2 hours until he eventually got down to business. God, that must have been an awkward fucking casual conversation.
2 hours.
You know,
I
How-
don't
That's
believe
interrogation, isn't
it.
it?
I don't believe it.
how were the
Cool.
kids?
I call bullshit on it straight away because he said that they said they were Martians.
Well, you don't know there's not life on Mars. Hidden deep in the canyons or underground, you don't know. Randy Kramer might be right. They're hiding their faces, they could be insectoid. 2 hours of awkward conversation with aliens. What would you ask them?
Well, actually, you
How would you jerk off?
That's not the first question you go in with, Ben. Sure.
How was your trip here, mate?
Yeah, well, that'll do.
Much traffic.
Do you know any of
Better than
them
nothing.
sexy cat people?
No,
Oh.
that's not.
Hook a
that-
brother up.
Yeah, of course I participate in your interspecies breeding programme. Fine with the green woman and the cat people.
As long as they got a vagina.
Well, obviously.
A hole.
Or whatever passes for a vagina amongst that species. As long as it hasn't got teeth, I'm down to fuck. So they were trying to terraform Mars. That's what they say to him. And by way of studying samples on Earth, and to that end they asked for a bag of fertiliser, as they had no cows on Mars. Wilcox obligingly went to retrieve a £75 bag. That's a heavy fucking bag just to give away, innit? So I'll give you some. You're not having the whole bag, you fucks. Cheeky bastards.
What a terraform Mars. It's going to take more than one £75 bag of fertiliser, isn't it?
You'd have thought he'd just give them a cow.
Because the cow would last long on Mars, wouldn't
I was
it?
just thinking
You
that.
give it a little spacesuit, didn't you? Like they're aliens, they've got the technology.
How's he going to eat?
Well, they use the fertiliser they're going to take anyway to grow some grass and a little dome for the cow.
That's not how it works. It's a different planet. It's got a different atmosphere. It
Well,
doesn't
they
have
take some
oxygen.
grass. Alright, they need some fertiliser, some grass seeds, and some kind of pooper scoop. Right? And they put the cow in a little dome. They put the grass seeds in.
In a dome, you could. In a
In a
controlled
dome, yeah.
environment.
In a controlled environment, and they just let the cow poop.
It's going to take a while, isn't it?
It's going
Yeah.
to take a while. They might have always asking for a breeding pair, in all fairness.
I would.
Yeah,
One cow.
one cow's not going to do a lot. Then you kill them off and milk and realise that they're digesting. They're no cows, they're all lactose intolerant. You've got no dairy, have they? You're going to kill an entire species through explosive diarrhea if you give them a cow.
You don't have to drink the
I was going
milk.
to say,
Yeah, but they're going to, aren't they?
I say you don't
No,
have
they're
to
not. They
drink
might be
milk.
like, ugh, what's that coming out of it? And
Why would I want to drink a cow's tit milk?
I don't know. It's like, oh, this
It's not like you go up to a dog and start sucking a dog's tit when it's got milk.
Don't you?
It's a delicacy.
Oh dear. Oh Claire. Oh Mike.
You would if you were thirsty enough.
Oh, Ben.
If it's the apocalypse, mate, and
You're
that
gonna drink dog's milk.
I'll drink dog's milk.
You drink your dog's milk.
No, I'm drinking my dog's milk. He's a boy. But if there was a pregnant dog walking around, or a dog that had recently littered,
It's not going to play Red Rocket with your dog.
no. But if there's a
Red
bitch,
Rocket.
if there's a bitch walking around and she's obviously just littered, and I'm going to try and milk that dog.
Detriment to her puppies.
Puppies might be dead.
Because you've eaten it.
No, it's the apocalypse.
I made puppy sausages.
It's the
So it would be in
apocalypse.
your best interest for them not to be dead. And
Yeah,
then
I'd like
you
them
have
not
a
to
bit
be
more
dead.
Puppy meat.
You have some more
Some
milk.
more milk.
No, I'm going to fucking run around with a pack of wild dogs. That's what I'm going to do.
I got 6 chihuahuas.
I'm gonna
Yeah, baby,
I'm
mess
going
me now,
to
bitch.
become one with the pack.
6 chihuahuas and a Jack Russell.
Dog milk on tap.
I'm just saying, it's the apocalypse. You've got to drink something.
Rat milk.
Why the fuck not?
Rat burgers.
Rat burgers, definitely.
We've all had them already anyway, to be fair. We've all eaten burgers at a festival.
Yeah.
We've all had rat burgers.
Any kebab shop in Wolverhampton.
Moving on anyway.
King Kebab in Wolverhampton, their burgers were fucking amazing, but I never figured out what meat it was. It's closed now, I can name them. Just on Broad Street, at the back of the Planet nightclub.
Like horse, cat, dog, whatever.
Could have
they
been
get their hands
anything. They were fucking lovely though.
on. Whatever they got their hands on for cheap.
Yeah, well,
People.
could have been people.
Could have been human meat.
Anyway, they never got the fertiliser because they scarpered.
Oh, they left it on the ground. They come back and got it the next day.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's good of them, isn't it?
Or someone just. Then again, who's walking off from the middle of a farmer's field with a 75-pound bag of fucking fertiliser over your shoulder?
That's why the aliens left it, because they were like, I can't fucking carry that shit. We'll be back tomorrow, we'll bring some reinforcements.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the aliens had it. Some
Could
guy
have been
driving
anything,
past in his
yeah.
truck. I'll have that.
He may have.
Yeah. Not down for this one.
No.
I want to know what he said to him for 2 hours.
We're not down for many of these, to be fair, today.
It's only really Kelly Hopkinsville that gets me off that fence.
It does get you off, doesn't it?
Well,
I saw that bulge. I don't know, eh?
it's just me
Weirdo.
balls. It's my natural state. Okay, one from Australia. A lot of European ones in that one. A good mix there, European and American.
Now we got an Australia.
Now an Australian. The Knowles family. A strange saga befell the Knowles family on January 19th, 1988 by the Tony Outpost... Tiny? What did I say?
Tony.
Oh, sorry. By the tiny outpost Mundrabilla in the vast Nullarbor Desert.
Love Aussie names.
Faye Knowles and her 3 sons noticed a mysterious light emerging in the distance. Flooring the car in fear, the family later told police that a light beam yanked the car into the air before plunging it into the ground, disabling the tyres and filling the cabin with an eerie grey mist and a foul smell. I felt like my brain was being sacked out, said the oldest son.
Was it a Cockney fucking Aussie or something?
Yes, because that's where the accent comes from.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, alright then.
Cockney criminals.
All them Cockney criminals sent off to Australia. But I admit I can't do it. I started off well, I went all Cockney towards the end, didn't it? Anyway, it felt like his brain was being sucked out, said eldest son Patrick. Truckers at the next town attested the family were all visibly shaken from the odd experience. Yeah, that one's an odd one. It's
Eerie
these...
mist that tried to suck your brain out.
Oh no, it's that fog that turns you inside out.
I'm not buying this one. Someone farted in the car.
The most famous Australian weird one is the disappearance of Frederick Valance.
We covered that, yeah.
We covered that one before?
Yep.
That's the most famous one, but I personally just think he was a terrible pilot.
He just not got lost in the bush
No, he was flying a plane at the time.
that went down in the bush.
No, he was flying over the sea. They never found the wreckage, or did they find the wreckage? I can't remember. But he was like saying that there's this UFO was flying round him, but it's probably just as likely that he managed to disorientate himself and was flying upside down, which apparently is an easy thing to do if you're an inexperienced pilot, or not a very good pilot. Guy tried to join the Australian Air Force 3 times and rejected every time on his flying ability. So he was not a great pilot. He may have very well got disorientated and pulled up instead of down, or down instead of up, and ended up in the sea. Weird thing was, his Close Encounters of the Third Kind had just come out, and he was like quite into that. So he might have been trying to pull a hoax, got himself a bit befuddled and crashed the plane. Or he was abducted by aliens, take your pick. So yeah, there we have it. Weird Alien Encounters 2.
What's interesting is that they're from a lot of different countries around the world, aren't they?
Well, yeah, every country sees UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them nowadays.
I wonder which one sees the most.
America. Because America sees the most, and then it's usually Northern Europe, so, you know, France, Germany, Britain, Scandinavia is second next. Then I think China, Russia maybe. Russia's the thing is, you'll never know with Russia, and you'll never know with China. I mean, China, because, you know, they tell that ours are suppressed, theirs are more suppressed. They don't have whistleblowers.
Well, and the Western world, I should imagine there's more avenues to report such things.
There's that too,
Yeah.
and you know, you don't take it off in a van with a black bag on your head reporting something like that, like you probably do in China. You know, it's thing is the weird. I love the 50s UFO sightings because they're also crazy. Sci-fi is just starting to come out at that point, and you can tell people are like tripping out on it a little bit.
I think these days we're all a bit too busy watching Netflix and whatnot that we're not even looking at the skies and shit, are we?
No, it's true.
Distraction.
We are very distracted. Our attention span has been systematically reduced to seconds now, and it's been purposely done that way.
Of course it has. Dumbing us down.
Yeah, effectively. Yeah, don't want the population too smart, do you?
Idiocracy will come
You
true.
want them just clever enough just to be able to do their jobs, thick enough not to be able to ask questions.
What were we talking about again?
Yeah.
On that bombshell.
On that bombshell, Terry Crews, the president. No, I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. YouTube is Apocalypse Bull, and SoundCloud and Spotify and most other podcasting platforms is Cutting to the Bull in the PTA. Don't drink the flavour aid. Don't join the cult.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been Clair, keep an open mind, but not so open that it smells like your ears.
I've been Pete. Everybody have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah.